All right, explain why the president decided to require, if you will, congressional authorization for using force to punish the Syrians, if you will, for using chemical weapons. We got a list of a whole bunch of other examples when nothing along those lines was required. Ronald Reagan invaded Grenada in '83, no congressional authorization. Same when George H.W. Bush did in Panama, 1989, no congressional authorization. Bush did the same thing in Somalia in '92. Bill Clinton bombed Iraq in '98. Bill Clinton led the NATO bombing of the former Yugoslavia in '99. No congressional authorization. Obama, when he launched Tomahawk cruise missiles against Libya to get rid of Gaddafi in 2011, no congressional authorization. Why do you believe it's necessary now?
Well, let's be clear. The president does not believe that he is required to seek Congress's authorization. What he believes is that when Congress authorizes his proposal for a limited, targeted strike so that Assad understands that our response to his violation of a 100-year-old international norm not to use chemical weapons against either your own people or as a legitimate weapon of war will have a certain and severe response, and that he has to be held accountable for atrocities like that. What President Obama has said and decided that although he knows that he has the authority to act without Congress's authorization, we are going to have a more unified and stronger response when Congress authorizes the president's proposal. The strength of the United States response with unity is going to be far more impactful, not only on Assad, but on the region as well, when it comes to Iran, when it comes to Hezbollah, and our national security interests are at risk here. It is imperative that Assad understand that he cannot simply act with impunity and launch chemical weapons against his own people without a severe response.
Well, what happens if the president doesn't get a positive vote in the House of Representatives? What if he gets rejected there, as David Cameron did in Britain?
Well, I feel confident that our colleagues, my colleagues, both on the Republican side of the aisle as well as the Democratic side of the aisle, are not going to jeopardize the credibility of the United States. I feel confident that we will have a majority of the House of Representatives and the Senate who will understand and authorize the president to engage in a limited, targeted strike that ensures that our national security interests are protected, but also that we respond to atrocities and exercise the moral leadership that the United States has always led with. And for me, as a mother, to see that searing image of babies lined up, murdered by their own government, innocent children. I mean, as a Jew, Wolf, I have to tell you, as a member of Congress who represents one of the largest Holocaust survivor populations in the country, to me, the concept of never again has to mean something. And the United States, morally, cannot turn the other cheek. Too many leaders of ours have regretted that decision.
But there's no 100% guarantee he's going to get that vote in the House of Representatives. I think he'll get it in the Senate. No guarantee in the House of Representatives, in part not just because of, let's say, Tea Party-type Republicans or more isolationist Republicans, but there are a whole bunch of liberal Democrats, as you well know, in your caucus, who are going to vote against the president. They don't want to get involved in Syria. They got a lot of other issues they want to deal with here at home.
Look, I think the president was right to seek congressional authorization because it will strengthen our response when we're unified. And I believe that my colleagues in both chambers, on both sides of the aisle, will understand, as John McCain said today, that risking the credibility of the United States by voting no and voting this down would be catastrophic for our credibility. And I think that they are going to clearly understand that, and will make sure that not only we can protect our allies in the region from the strengthening of Assad's hand if we don't respond, like Israel and Jordan and Turkey, but also that we stand against moral obscenities, as Secretary Kerry rightly labeled this chemical weapons attack, and make sure that it's understood that you will receive a severe and certain response from the United States and our allies when you violate international norms like Assad has.
And when we talk to your constituents and they ask you, Congressman, why is it the United States always that has to get involved militarily? Other countries may be cheering on the U.S. from the sidelines, but it's always U.S. military men and women, U.S. firepower that are called upon to do a job like this. Why can't other countries do it?
Well, there are other countries. I mean, we have, and from the briefings that I've received, there are dozens of countries who are going to stand with the United States, who will engage with us on military action, and also that back us up.
Which countries? So which countries will use their military power to attack targets inside Syria?
That's honestly something, Wolf, I'm not at liberty to say. I mean, some of what I've learned is classified. Some is unclassified. But what I can tell you is that there are many nations who have committed to support the United States in our action.
Militarily.
And that's going to be important.
And you're saying militarily,
yes.
Not just politically or vocally, but militarily, yes. They will support the United States. They will go in with their F-16s, their own missiles, their firepower, and target sites in Syria?
In both military and diplomatic and political support, there are dozens of nations who have committed to back us up. That's what I'm at liberty to say.
I know dozens maybe will be.
Really,
they may be supporting us, but I'll be anxious to see which ones actually get involved militarily if the president gives that execute order in the weeks to come. We got to leave it there.
The important thing is that we need military and moral leadership here, and that's part of the United States' responsibility. And President Obama and I think the Congress will make a very strong signal that this conduct, murdering your own people mercilessly, is unacceptable.
Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman-Schultz, also the chair of the DNC, thanks very much. Let's get a different perspective now from another Democrat, Congresswoman Janice Hahn. She's a member of the